Alright, so I've held off as long as I could on the topic of this video. I've felt this way for a really long time, and people are going to say that I'm only speaking out now because it's affected somebody that I support, but no. I'm not a bandwagon person, and I've felt for a long time that a lot of things are just people jumping on bandwagons and saying that they're against this, for this and that happened to them. The rape culture in Hollywood has gotten out of control. The accusations have gotten out of control. The amount of people who are coming out of the woodwork wanting to reinvent themselves. All you have to do is Google these people. I question anybody who has something coming out, anybody who doesn't have a career anymore and wants to reinvent themselves. And that's a shame for the people who really are victims. Whatever happened to the court of law, not public opinion? If somebody is found guilty, or even if the person is found innocent in the court of law, but there's enough irrefutable evidence, i.e. O.J. Simpson, where you know the person did what they were being accused of doing, okay, fine. But don't smear somebody and try to ruin their life until you know. I mean, the new thing is to go to sex rehab over rape allegations. Okay, well, what happens if you're accused 2 decades later and you have had problems that you have sought help for, and you're in a really good place in your life now? I side-eye a lot of these victims. I'm sorry. Especially ones, and I know that how a victim acts is not always black and white. But if you know that you're a public figure and that eventually something horrific that happened to you is going to come out, you don't, months before, call your rapist a DILF, as well as support him endlessly in his career and personal life. I feel like so many people are being demonized before there's evidence or a close to the case. If somebody, like I said, if it comes out that somebody really did do something, fine. But what about the victims that don't have this platform? Another reason that I have so much against this is because somebody in my family was not wrongly accused of rape, but wrongly accused of something, and a lot of people jumped the gun. This person still isn't talking to certain people that were in her life. All because of false accusations that were proven to be false, mind you. But the damage is already done to the reputation. And that's not fair. And then the attack on innocent families in these situations. Just because social media exists does not give anybody the right to harass a husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, child about anything. Look at the president's 11-year-old kid getting harassed. And then in these rape allegations, you have people's wives. The day that it comes out, mind you, there's no evidence yet. The story has a million holes in it, and this is for many of the cases, not just one. The wife is being told to divorce the husband because she is for women's rights. You don't get to tell somebody that. Even, let's say, worst case scenario, that the allegations were true, okay? You don't get to tell somebody whether or not they stay with somebody. And, not only that, I have more sympathy, again, personal experience, because my brother was a drug addict who committed suicide. I have more sympathy for somebody who had issues at one point in their life and came out on the other side. You don't give up on somebody that you love until the day they die, and they can't fight anymore. Until they can't fight those demons, until you can't support them through those demons, you don't give up. As far as I'm concerned, there have been people, Nick Carter is one of them, who, let's just say, for argument's sake, it is true, that man has come so far in his life, he's miles from where he was around the time of these accusations. Like I said, there's holes in the story. There's a lot of things I don't understand about the story. There's people from his life at the time who are sending proof to his lawyers on his side. Whatever happened to wait and see? Like I said, if you want to hate anybody, if it's proven that they did something horrific, fine. But don't do it before. And don't try to smear their whole life because of it. Especially somebody who has made a lot of strides to change their life for a lot of reasons. It's not fair, just because they're in the spotlight. And I don't think people should get fired or blacklisted or taken off of this or that for anything. Even, let's use two opposite ends of the spectrum. Well, it's not two opposite ends. It's actually the same end. But different outcome. Eminem went to #1 when he came out with the Trump song. Kathy Griffin got blacklisted. And this was before. In the very beginning of when all of these things were going on with them. If you want to hate somebody, fine. If you want to have like a Nick Carter, Harvey Weinstein, and all these other people burn parties for all of their merchandise, fine. Don't lump all of them together, especially somebody like Nick Carter and Harvey Weinstein, because there has been proof of that with the casting couch and people who have spoken out over the years that people are just catching on. Like I said, If it's true, that's one thing. But this story just dropped. And there's no excuse for the way in which this man is being smeared, especially to attack his family. You don't get to dictate somebody's life. You get to dictate whether or not you hate their guts, but not whether or not the people in their actual life feel the way that you do. I stand with him. I do. Hate me for it. I don't care. And if there is proof that these people have, I hope it is going to the lawyers to prove his innocence. And I hope that does get released to the public. Because at the end of the day, when the case is closed, whether it's innocent or guilty, I think that should be released. I don't think for a moment sooner we should demonize somebody in the court of public opinion. Because I'm sorry, it's, like I said in the beginning of this video, it is a trend now. I do not believe more than half of the incidences that are in the media. And if you believe for a second that people don't want to reinvent themselves, make a quick buck, you're kidding yourself. Totally kidding yourself. It's sick. Normal people can't imagine it. Okay, fine. But it happens. So just pray for everybody involved and wait and see.